plus our famous huge Crane cash discounts. The Crane team simply can't be beat. Shop Arkansas's largest selection of Kia Tellurides, Hyundai Palisades, Sorrentos, Tucsons, and more. Visit us today or shop online at craneteam.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Every time it rains, and it's from heaven.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $1.817 billion. So get those tickets out. Let's play.
More than 3 months and more than $1.8 billion. All comes down to 6 numbers and 1 winner in Arkansas. The lucky Powerball ticket, very lucky winner for this Powerball ticket, was purchased at this Murphy USA gas station in Cabot.
I think it's amazing for whoever won it. I hope that whoever won it has a giving heart and decides to do something really good with it.
Go home.
Don't let anybody know who you are. Invest it all. Live off the interest.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
I think Tommy was in Cabot last few days because evidently that's where the Powerball winner won. Man, oh man. Not only did the winner hail from Arkansas, he had a $100,000 winner in Rogers and a $50,000 winner in Little Rock. That winner was not me. I would have loved to win $50,000 being with my family at Christmas the last few days. Hey, it's a Hot Take Monday. Happy to be here this morning, here with Colton Little. I don't know. I honestly don't know where Tommy is. Hopefully he's living it up with that $1.8 million. We're gonna get into some of it. Billion. I said million. We'll get in some of those details coming up in just a bit. Just unbelievably insane. I know we had some fun last week. It's like, hey, what would you do with that money? Hopefully that person is generous towards Arkansas football, because I think we're all tired of having a mediocre football program. It would be our luck that person is like an LSU fan living in Cabot or something like that. Ole Miss fan or something of that sort. Hey, this morning on Hot Take Money, we're brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. Jackie, Matt, and the team over at Mock Legal Solutions are licensed in both Arkansas and Oklahoma. They've got Mock Legal Solutions in Salisaw now to help out with LaFleur, and Sequoia counties. They do all the family law stuff, plus she's got over a decade in car wreck, slip and fall cases, and dog bite cases as well to help you get that insurance check or wreck check. They understand, listen, times are tough, especially holidays. You spend a lot of money. Well, the good thing is you don't have to pony up $5,000 up front. They have flat fees and low down payments and payment plans as well. Laws have changed, and joint custody is the default, but they're not afraid to go to trial, and they're successful when they do. Go to mocklegalsolutions.com. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. Good Christmas down in Texas, Colton?
Yes, had a very good time. Lots of travel involved. The little guy had his very first Christmas. He got way, way too many gifts, Ty. You were onto something a couple weeks ago when you said that buying gifts for children that age is kind of superfluous. But you know what? It made for a really good Christmas. He'll never want for another toy until at least 2027. So that's a really, really good thing. Travel wasn't too easy. I do have some beef on Wednesday for some of these little diaper things that they have. I bet you never used one of these in the men's restroom, Ty, but the place that they have to change the baby's diaper at these gas stations that I stopped at, some of them were good, some of them were bad. I have gas station rankings. We will get to that probably on Wednesday, but overall, really good Christmas. This thing now, as I've gotten older, isn't about opening gifts anymore, Ty. It's about seeing family that you haven't seen throughout the year and just having those moments together. And I'm glad now that I have a little guy that I can share all those with and teach him about the spirit and the meaning and the magic of the Christmas season.
I had a friend in school. His name was Cameron Brajas. He would send us videos and rank the different bathrooms that he attends. And he's like you, has a newborn, and now he is adjusting his rankings based on those specifications that you're talking about, because you've never, prior to
never even looked at them.
Carter, it's like you don't think about that stuff. But now as a new father, that's an essential when traveling, gas stations, wherever you stop. That's a big part of stopping and the rest stops and everything.
That's right. There is no more Colton Little, Ty. It is only Carter's dad.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it. All right, so let's get into some of these stats about the Powerball jackpot that, again, was won in Cabot the last few days. Unbelievable. Now, help me on this. I am not – the named person, like he or she hasn't come forward
They have
yet.
not. They've chosen to remain anonymous, which is incredibly intelligent.
I just wanted to make sure that I was correct in saying that. So all 6 numbers, $1.817 billion jackpot. The cash option is $834,900,000. They did the math on this. There's going to be a little over $330 million that the feds get and the state gets. So you're going to take, assuming the lump sum, over $500 million to take home. And it was, again, drawn and won on December the 24th. The winning numbers were 4, 25, 31, 52, 59, and the red Powerball was 19. The power play multiplier was 2. This is the second largest U.S. lottery jackpot ever won. It's the largest Powerball prize this year. Second time that a ticket has won in Arkansas, 15 years ago, back in 2010. The odds of winning a jackpot are 1 in 292.2 million. Golly. And this person from Cabot, who you stated has elected to remain anonymous, is now a millionaire at least.
Multi-millionaire.
You're taking, just to compare, like, hey, do I take the 30-year annuity or the lump sum? So the 30-year annuity is $1.074 billion paid over 30 years, making about $35.8 million a year. The lump sum, as said, $742 million. And again, when you take away some of the stuff that you're going to, I say that it's 834.9, and then you take away the taxes, federal and state, it's a little over $500 billion. You're taking the lump sum, right?
Oh, yeah. I think you could be tempted into having it paid out over those 30 years, but I feel like somehow, some way, the more that you have that money, the more that it gets paid. I don't understand all this stuff when it comes to the taxes and government. I didn't pay attention to this specific part in civics class very, very well, but I will say this. I know that over 30 years, the government's going to find a way to sink their teeth in more and more and more to that fortune that you rightly scratched to win. So I think that getting all that money as quick as you can and getting it in one place to have someone to manage it for you is the most intelligent play. And then, of course, you can't let anybody know who you are. There is just zero. I mean, you might let, family, like a few family members know who you are. But once you start telling everybody, I mean, Ty, everybody's got a great business idea that they need that just needs a couple $1 million to get off the ground. Everybody's got, a chance to make a difference in their community and they want to run for mayor and they need your backing of $1 million. Everybody has something they've got once they realize that you have $834.9 million.
More money, more problems. Text coming in here at the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Glenn in Tawny Town says, you got to be kidding. Let's see. I can set my family up for generations to come or give it to a bunch of 20-year-olds to play a game that don't give a bleep about me and probably don't give a bleep about the University of the State, the fans are even.
I will say,
winning.
If I was to suddenly come into a massive fortune of $834.9 million, my name's going somewhere up there on Fayetteville. Somewhere engraved in stone, in brass, etched in copper, somewhere up there. I didn't go to school up there, so I'm going to make my amends by paying.
You're not going to contribute to the Wonder Boys in Arkansas Tech?
Well, I may give them, I may toss them a bone here and there whenever they ask politely, but they didn't do me any favors from time to time. They give me a good education, but my loyalty lies to where the place I always wanted to go. And if I came into $800 million, certainly going to get season tickets. Certainly going to maybe see if I can at least buy one quarterback.
B's doing the annuity route. He's staying away from the lump sum.
B's smarter than I am, maybe. I don't know.
At 30, it's paid out over 30 years. I would probably do the lump sum because I think Tommy's given some good examples about that. But that is, I'm sure Tommy has some thoughts on this, and we can have that conversation when he gets back. No, he has not quit. No, he did not win the Powerball lottery. At least he hasn't told me that he drove to Cabot, Arkansas. I saw the gas station.
Murphy USA.
Yeah,
maybe.
It was Murphy USA.
Hey,
so
Arkansas gas station.
I was going to say Arkansas Zone, headquartered, I guess, in El Dorado, Arkansas. So cool stuff that happened on Christmas Eve. Hope you all had a
Makes it
good
better,
Christmas.
too.
What'd you say?
That makes it better too. You realize that you're thinking, man, I'm an adult. Probably Christmas is kind of blah. I'm gonna get socks and underwear, and hey, I scratch off for 1 point whatever it was billion.
1.8 was it 1.817? Is that what? Yep, 1.817. Unbelievable. All right, we'll talk some football coming up. A big coaching move in college football this weekend is Kyle Whittingham, the retired Utah coach, is taking over for the Michigan Wolverines. Before we get into our opening drive, got to tell you about the fence, man. Are you looking for a fence that needs to stand out and stand strong? Well, Sean and his team, Brandon and the guys, can help you. 479-782-3936. Whether it's residential, commercial, high security, maybe you need automatic gates, they can do it all at the Fenceman. Go to thefencemanAR.com or again, 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
It's an honor to be able to be in this position, like I said. 21 years at Utah, stepped down a couple weeks ago. Wasn't sure if I was finished or not. I still had a lot left in the tank, but I knew that there was about, you can count on one hand the amount of schools that if they called, I would listen and I would be receptive to what they had to say. Michigan was one of those schools. Definitely a top 5 job in the country, without a doubt. And so when the ball started rolling and the more I learned about Michigan, the more excited I got. I'm just elated to be here.
This is the opening drive.
That was his press conference. I think he's a really good coach. Served under Urban Meyer when he was in Salt Lake City, and then, again, has been a part of that Utah program for over 2 decades. The question I have is the expectations in Salt Lake City are a lot different than they are in Ann Arbor. Michigan's 2 years removed from a national championship. Yes, there's been a couple scandals since then. He is an unbelievable coach. Consistency is the word I would use. His teams are physical. But how does that translate going from where the expectations, if you win 9 or 10 games, you're revered, you're highly thought of, and if you win 9 or 10 games in Michigan, it's considered by that fan base as a down year, especially if you lose the last regular season game of the year to your now arch rival, the Ohio State Buckeyes, which is a weird deal for him considering it sounds like him and Urban Meyer are still friends. He can't manufacture hate. It's going to be built up over time as the head coach in Michigan, but did not see that coming, and Michigan's got their guy as one of the better jobs in all of college football.
Well, what puzzles me about this is I wonder if Michigan saw it coming. I wonder if this is merely a targeted opportunity or if they thought all along they've been kind of working behind the scenes to replace what they had with a coach that is I mean, you're not going to find a better college football coach than Kyle Whittingham out there. Like you said, Ty, the consistency that he's shown over the years at Utah has been extremely admirable. And if, anybody in the SEC was to have lured him away to be coaching down here, that team would be very successful right now because I think he's a good college football coach. And you mentioned it, the last coach at Utah before Kyle Whittingham was 21 years ago, and it was Urban Meyer. Since then, he's won national championships at Florida, Ohio State. He put his hand down a co-ed's pants at a bar in Jacksonville as the head coach of the Jaguars. He's done a lot of things since then. Yeah. But Kyle Whittingham has done nothing but win. And so for Michigan, you couldn't have found yourself falling into a better position, I guess. I don't know if they had this planned all along. All of that stuff with Sharon Moore and everything was incredibly ugly. And so for them to come out on top on this and get one of the better, more revered coaches in all of college football just proves that the logo does mean a lot. Whittingham said in his press conference, there's only a handful of schools that I would listen to after I thought that I was done with the game. I had a little bit left in the tank. I wasn't going to listen to just anybody. That big yellow block M tie, that means a lot.
Hog Wild and Van Buren, he's got his conspiracy radar up this morning. He believes that the Kyle Whittingham to Michigan saga was set up all along. They knew they were going to fire Sharon Moore, and he agreed to retire from Utah. It's been in the works for a while. There's no such thing as a coincidence. Hog Wild, I would at least listen to that because it seems like every college football insider was aware of the potential of a change within Michigan. So if they know, agents know, that gets passed along to coaches at the possibility of them potentially taking that job because it's one of the easily top 10, probably top 5 coaches. Like I don't have a working list. You guys know what I think, and gals know what I think about LSU. I think it's the best job in college football. I think it's the best job in college baseball. Michigan has to be at least in the top 5, probably in the top 10. So I don't think I would toss that theory just completely out the window, to be perfectly honest. Let's talk to Sterling, who's in Center Ridge this morning here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He's got some thoughts on the college football news from the weekend. Sterling, good morning.
Hey guys, Willingham, he didn't retire. He stepped down. He made it clear that he wasn't retiring. I guess Utah was ready to move on to the coach in waiting. I guess. I know they had a 5-7 season last year, but they rebounded big time this year. I thought they were preseason number 12. I guess I don't know why they wanted him to move on so bad, but the next time I hear from any guy in the media, I ain't talking about y'all guys, so I didn't hear it on this station. But any time I hear a talking head say something about fire a coach early, that way you get a head start on your coaching search, it's hogwash. Michigan, you can't get much later than when they fired Moore, and they fell into a much better coach.
Well, a real coach, Sterling, yeah.
I think, Sterling, I think it depends on the job. Like, Arkansas needs every advantage.
Exactly.
So Michigan can let go of a coach when they did in the cycle and still get a really good college football coach, and they got one in Winningham. Arkansas doesn't have that luxury.
But Arkansas didn't do no better.
Yeah, I mean,
firing early.
We fired a coach in September that we could have hired, in September.
It didn't really help us either. I mean, I know what you're saying. I totally agree. But I don't got nothing against the coach we hired. I think he may or may not do a good job. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying it ain't like nobody's saying let's just face it. I mean, we didn't get a guy that's a can't miss, and we didn't think we were going to get one anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why the need is to fire Sam. At least let him earn his money. Which I think we helped Sam out. I've been seeing him at the hot springs. He's living the life. I mean, he goes down there to the track. He's having a good time. He's not mad about it. I'm just saying, I just don't want to hear talking heads say, fire a guy so you can start your search.
Searcher. And I personally don't have any ill will towards Sam Pittman. It didn't work out this season. I thought there would be a transition, and there was. I think in terms of your feeling towards Silverfield, I think about the last 4 coaches that we've had here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and post Bobby Petrino. Obviously, we knew the John L. Smith thing wasn't going to be long-term, didn't know we were doing that badly, and so I lost a little bit. And then Brett Bielema. I mean, 3 straight Rose Bowls. You felt really good. You got a really good coach, and that thing ended totally. Yeah, it was a good hire. And it's still, even looking back at 2025, it was a good hire, just didn't work out. Then you move on to Chad Morris, and that was a bad hire. And then Sam Pittman basically took a job when it was him and Barry Lundy Jr., at least seemed like, and that's it. This is the least positive I've ever been about a head coach coming in to Arkansas in the last decade plus. And that's not anything against Ryan Silverfield. It's just you based on what's happened, you're like, okay, it's probably going to be another swing and a miss. And I hope, Sterling, I'm wrong about that. I say that every day. But you can't, if you're the Arkansas Athletics Department, and you're anyone that's trying to, whether it's selling season tickets for the Razorback Foundation, raising money or whatever, it's difficult to get fans excited relative to what's happened the last 12 plus years. And I don't want to be overly negative. That's not my theme. That's not what I strive to be, but it's just where we are with this Arkansas football program right now.
Yeah. And one more thing, I know you got other callers and other things to do. But to your point, most of the time when we hire a guy, however it turns out, it may work out, it may not. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the day of the hire, like you say about Bielema, I don't care what anyone says, that was a great hire by this university. Perry is a great hire by this university. I mean, guys, if you look at their resume, and when you get them, and what he didn't do that at a school that is historically great. Wisconsin's not historically great, and he maintained it. He maintained a good situation, kept it going for years and years and years, 7 years. That's a long time in today's college football. That was a good hire, and this time it just don't have that feel to it. Not to say that I'm against them. Not to say that, like you said, it's just it wasn't. Resume wise, it wasn't what we're used to around here, and And that's the deal. I mean, Chad Morris was a shot in the dark about recruiting in Texas and trying to get the guts of Texas, kind of like what what's that guy that Texas Tech, McGuire?
Joe McGuire, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that guy, what we try to do with Morris, but Morris wasn't any good, but just different this time. Not to say it won't work out. I mean, Pete Carroll wasn't USC's first choice. Joe Torre wasn't the Yankees' first choice. I mean, they were way down the line, and we saw how that turned out. You never know.
Going over some Hall.
Guys, y'all doing a great job, and have a great rest of the day. Happy New Year if I don't talk to you before then.
All right, Sterling. Hope you had a really good Christmas, and maybe that's what we need, right? One of the questions I want to ask a little later on is, do you feel like Arkansas Athletics was successful in 2025?
Ooh.
It's our Morning Rush Daily question here in about 25 minutes. And I think like your mind probably either goes immediately to yes or immediately to no. You're a no if you think it only revolves around football. You're a yes when you look at the 4 national players of the year, a Sweet 16 of basketball, 2 games away from the College World Series final in baseball. We'll table that for just a bit. We're also going to have John Bryce on coming up at 10 a.m. John works for footballscoop.com.
Scoop.
He's really in the know on college football hires, because I just want to ask him, like, listen, we see names, we see resumes. It's like, did Silverfield hire good staff? We pretty much know what it is now. It's like we're a long way out. We're only Friday the transfer portal officially opens. So we'll start to see some guys not just exit but enter Arkansas football from the other SEC and other schools. Is like, do you have a staff in place that you feel like can get you players in addition to money and everything else? We'll ask John about that coming up in about 40 minutes. Again, Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for you, 877-377-6963. Razorback basketball in action for the final time in 2025 back in Bud Walton Arena. James Madison. Still get tickets right now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com and also on SeatGeek, the official resale market of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Tennessee on Saturday. There are a lot of marquee matchups inside of Bud Walton Arena. I know people were excited for this SEC opener against the Tennessee Volunteers, trying to pay them back for what they did to you last season. And again, tickets are cheap right now, not just for tonight. You've got the stripe out as well on Saturday, ArkansasRazorbacks.com. When we return, we'll get more into that, hear what Kelvin Sampson had to say post-win about Arkansas and some other news with Arkansas Razorbacks in the NFL next.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
I've been saying it for 5 years. No one listens to me. My dog, I call him, he runs the other way. My wife doesn't listen to me. No one listens.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
Instaweb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Say Christmas isn't about the presents, but try telling that to a person in Arkansas. It really is a very Merry Christmas for one lucky Powerball player there.
This is the Morning Rush.
We're having a good old-fashioned family Christmas at Rath Auto Resources. Now through the end of the year, get up to $6,400 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned sleigh. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Really nice. Save up to $6,400 off your next family truckster and we'll all have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautoportsmith.com. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol?
You know what's underrated? Having choices. Like, imagine not being able to choose your Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell. Imagine you couldn't get a box of classics for $5, or Faves for $7, or a lavish feast for $9. Now with cheesy dipping burritos and creamy garlic sauce. Good thing all those choices are, like, actually real. So instead, imagine which you're gonna get. Choose your Lux Cravings box at Taco Bell today. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've customized the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with RUSH25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those. 107 down. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Goff throws. It is caught. Touchdown. Isaac Tesla has done it again.
And Isaac's had quite a rookie season. 6 touchdowns, only 14 catches. So nearly
red zone
every other catch is a touchdown for the young man from Michigan who spent 2 seasons with the Arkansas Razorbacks. Hunter Henry also had a touchdown the last few days.
May will climb, May will throw. He's got Henry. Henry's got the touchdown. The red zone machine strikes again.
Hunter's been a dog for the New England Patriots and Drake May, and 2 guys. Again, Isaac did that on Christmas Day. Hunter did that, helped the New England Patriots clinch the AFC East once again. I think first time since Brady was there back in 2019. Bills lost a tough one yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles, but cool to see some Razorbacks getting some play and really having a lot of success. Hunter's, I can't remember. I guess he came out after the 2015 season, so the NFL started in 2016. So he's nearly a decade in, and then Isaac a year in, basically.
Yeah, Hunter Henry's definitely on the NFL insurance plan now, and Tesla is going to get there pretty soon. But Ty, we were talking about this earlier this morning. 62 receptions for Isaac Tesla in his 2 years at Arkansas, only 5 touchdowns. And in 1 year in the National Football League, 14 catches, but 6 big-time touchdowns for the Lions. So that's really great to see, and he's a hometown kid. Really excited to watch his career. He continues to develop. But one of the things that caught my eye over this, this holiday weekend was, you mentioned it right there, Anthony Black has become one of the better players on a really good, talented, young Magic team, and he has surpassed Paolo Banchero in the eyes of many Magic fans and the faithful down there in Orlando. 38 points the other night. Like you said, he was just eviscerating the Nuggets from deep from three-point range, so it was really cool to see Anthony Black really come into his own.
Deep in the corner, he's got Jokic up. He'll shoot the ball again. Threes for Anthony Black.
AB's fun to watch, and he loves the Arkansas Razorbacks, which is cool. He had, again, several Arkansas Pro Hogs in action between the NFL and the NBA the last few days, not just on Christmas Day, but several. Thunder have dropped a few lately. The Spurs seem to be a thorn in our side. I think we lost 3 against the Spurs now, which is kind of annoying. So hopefully Isaiah, Jalen, and the guys can get the team back, and I say that a team that's lost 5 games all season.
Well, we got to find a recipe for Wemby because he'll be there in the playoffs against them too when it comes down to it, and he is obviously one of one when it comes to what he can do at the basketball. But Thunder have that good team core, and they're a lot more talented as a whole than the Spurs. So if that comes down to the playoffs in the Western Conference Finals, you can consider me locked in. That'll be great basketball.
Mentioned this before the break. Arkansas basketball final regular season game in 2025 against James Madison, the Dukes tonight, and then you'll play Tennessee this Saturday, which is a stripe out for that upcoming game inside of Bud Walton Arena. I would expect that place, and I know students not necessarily back yet. I would come back early if I was a student, but that place is going to be rocking and loud, and I can't wait for that atmosphere. Tennessee, I didn't look at the latest AP, do you know off the top of your head, Colton? I can pull it up.
No, they're up there. They've had some struggles, but they've also had a lot of really good wins too. So they'll be a good team. 19, Arkansas's 18 on ESPN2. I think that poll might get updated again today. I forget, but that's the upcoming matchup this weekend against James Madison tonight. All right, that is your Hog Update here on Hot Take Monday. Hog Update always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888. 8 Sparky.
All right, I have a hot take for you, and I can't take credit for this because this was passed along to me yesterday. The idea, so you've got Lane Kiffin leaving early in the middle of the Texas Bowl with Houston and LSU. You've got players going to the locker room early before the celebration even concludes. There's no life within bowls right now. So a suggestion that was made to me, ESPN owns bowl rights and stuff like that. Why not increase the playoff and then have those sponsors as part of the coverage in the bowls? I know I don't know the math on that, but why not eliminate a lackluster part of postseason, which is the bowls, because it's playoff or bust now, even with some highly thought of bowl games right below the college football playoff, and just have them sponsor the build-up to the college football playoff and have those games mean more to fans than something. I mean, you saw the bowl attendance. It's atrocious. I got to be honest, I haven't watched more than 10 minutes of a bowl game. And it's December 29th. This was something I used to look forward to every year. Come home for Christmas for a few days and watch endless amounts of college football. Colton, I'm just not, and I feel like I'm not too far off what the American public is doing. And I know it's on, and I know there's not a lot on right now, but it just doesn't interest me at all, to be perfectly honest.
People want to fix the playoff. People want to fix the bowl system. They were onto something this morning when they talked about trying to rework the bowl system and getting some of the more fun advertisers and the more fun corporate sponsors in there. I think I can get along with that as well. But Ty, you're absolutely right with your hot take, and whoever shared it with you was spot on as well. I think that these bowl games, they're just completely meaningless now. They've lost a lot of their fun. They lost a lot of their appeal, and it really doesn't matter if you win them anymore either. I mean, you can look at some of these schools that, yes, it finishes off a good season, but you're still not where you want to be, which is at the seat with the big boys playing in games that matter. So they got to fix something to figure out all this, all this bowl system, because the sponsors have to stay sponsored to something. They're going to want their name out there the way it has been with these bowl games.
We can come back to that conversation because I think it's worth hitting on a little more, but we got to step aside for just a sec. Again, Morning Rush Daily Question, we teased it a little bit earlier. Based on what Arkansas accomplished in the athletics department in 2025, do you consider it a successful year for Razorback sports? We'll talk about that when we return here on a Hot Take Monday.
Streaming now on the ESPN Radio app. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. A famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
Instaweb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Yeah, I can't sleep at night. I got the shakes.
This is the Morning Rush.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Have you had Cheerwine yet? The cherry flavored soda has had people coming back since 1917. This is RD with Platinum Distributing. We help bring Cheerwine to the River Valley for you to try. Nothing goes with food like Cheerwine. Burgers, barbecue, pizza, you name it. Okay, now we're hungry and thirsty. Cheerwine is a one-of-a-kind soft drink with a unique cherry taste that has been delighting Southerners for more than a century. Pick up Cheerwine at your local Jam Mart, Harps, and other fine establishments. Cheerwine, uniquely Southern since 1917.
Looking for a gift that's full of flavor and hometown pride? Then the House of Webster in Rogers, Arkansas has you covered. Our jams, jellies, preserves, and salsa gift packs are made right here in Rogers, perfect for family, friends, or anyone who loves great taste. Stop by our gift shop at 1013 North 2nd Street in Rogers or shop online at houseofwebster.com. Got family in other states? We'll ship it for you.
Delicious jams and jellies?
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
So 2025 is about to come to a close. It's crazy. Years flown by. When you think about Arkansas athletics, your fandom, the Razorbacks, what they accomplished, men, women, across the board, do you consider 2025 a successful year for Arkansas? You got 4 players of the year. You've got a team, and I'm just thinking about the bigger sports. Basketball team goes to the Sweet 16. Softball team, another successful year. Soccer team, another regular season title. Baseball, 2 games away from the College World Series finals. And then the elephant in the room, which is a football team that went 2-10. We're in the South.
Big elephant.
Big elephant. Do you think 877-377-6963 2025 was a successful year for Arkansas? Go ahead, Colton.
I mean, to take nothing away from the 4 individual players that won those awards this year, Vahiva Aloy, Bri Ellis, all of them. I mean, to take nothing away from them. But the answer, my initial gut reaction is no, because none of them walked away with a trophy I'm sure they would have traded in its place, which is a team championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to be so cynical, but that is truly, honestly, how I feel. Your football season was a complete, utter disaster. It was a failure from every aspect. Play calling, coaching, effort, team, everything. Just not good across the board all the way through from week 1 to the end of the season. Your basketball team had a great turnaround. That's awesome. Love that. Your baseball team, always very successful. But they did what they always do, which is unfortunately can't close out games. And I hate to be so cynical to close out the year and to put a bow on the seasons for everything. There were some great moments. Gage Woods' no-hitter in the College World Series, something I will never forget. Some of those games in the tournament run this year for basketball were absolutely amazing to watch the team from where they'd come from to where they were on the game's biggest stage, playing against teams that might have outmatched them at times. So it was really, really great to see that. Good moments, but as a whole, every single one of those players would trade individual trophies, all their accolades for a team championship. And if not, I probably wouldn't want them to be Razorbacks anyway. And that's kind of how I feel. We get to report on it. We get to sit here and expound upon it all year long. And it's great. There are highs and lows. But to me, Ty, you consistently showed whenever it mattered most, you failed.
JT points out, no, there are no championships in any other sports other than track and cross country. Depends on if you're counting regular season championships or just the postseason ones. My mind as I thought about this question yesterday and this morning, is football so heavily weighted, not just from a money standpoint and how much is invested year in, year out in the program, how much is made from the football program, but being that we are in the Southeastern Conference, we're in the South, where football comes first. I like basketball wise, we're more successful, but I would say by and large, and I don't want to I don't want you to feel slighted for the diehard basketball fans, the diehard baseball fans, the fans listening right now that care about every other sport on this campus, but it's just it means more when it comes to talking about your football team. So I think your football program, at least in my opinion, outweighs and in this case overshadows every other accomplishment that you had within your athletics department. And therefore, I know and this might sound stupid to a lot of you, and that's fine. It's an opinion. It's not a fact. But I don't think you can call 2025 successful for an athletics department when your shining star, air quotes, went 2-10. And then on the flip side, if this team somehow goes like 8-4 regular season next year, and you take a little bit of a step back in basketball or baseball, then honestly, I would probably consider that a success. And that's maybe backwards thinking to some of you.
It's not.
It's just where we are. If we were, I don't know, out west or in the Northeast, I would probably have a different opinion if I was doing this show based on the athletics department. But we're
Different
not.
mindsets out there.
Yeah, we're in the South. All right, that's your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. We'll get some thoughts on this coming up. Cart Pass Social, listen, end of the year's coming. We've got different holidays, birthdays, and everything else that are going to be here before you know it. And Christian, Nate, their team at Cart Pass Social can help you out. Go to cartpasssocial.com. Their league plays back online. It's a BYOB establishment. Bring your favorite snacks and beverages into Cart Pass Social. No golf attires required. Come by and see him. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from Atwoods. It's kind of perfect, right? Lowell's in between Springdale and Fayetteville and Rogers and Bentonville. It's kind of the perfect middle point for wherever you're coming from. It's a great place. Watch college football this week. You can watch the NFL always the next couple weeks. Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Let's go to Clarksville. Welcome in Brett on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brett, you have some thoughts on our Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question?
Yeah, man, I think across the board, the Hogs have just became heartbreaking throughout the years. I mean, I've gotten to a point to where now I just watch Army football, and it's been so heartbreaking that I'd rather just crank hog instead of root for them.
Didn't have that coming on that is a hot take here on a Hot Take Monday. And I think so, and not to belittle any other fan base, but I would love to stack up our heartbreaks recently with any college program in the country, any professional franchise in the country, and weigh the pain and the agony that we've gone through as Razorback fans in games, in moments, and stack those up against anyone.
Yeah.
And I think legitimately you would be hard-pressed to find a fan base that has gone through more turmoil the last decade or so than Arkansas fans.
Read the Jack Mack tweet, Ty. Arkansas fandom is designed by the CIA to understand how much torture a human person can take. And that is 100%. And you know what? One of the things about the athletic department, before we get to Philip in Bentonville, who called us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, before we get to him, I want to say, you're talking about the athletic department as a whole. Obviously, the cash cow is football. Well, at one point during this year, your athletic director became the mockery of tons and tons of people because of the way that he spoke about how you didn't have things in order. So you can't forget about that. That's a big black eye on your athletic department as a whole.
Mm-hmm. All right, Philip, go ahead, man. You're on the Morning Rush.
Morning, Philip.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, guys, I know that probably in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal, but I kind of wanted your thought. I was in Central Arkansas this morning, but what is your thought on ASU coming in yesterday and beating the girls basketball? I know in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't as big to do as it was in basketball. But what is kind of your thought, and is it not that big a deal, or is it somewhat a big a deal? Because it's a fairly big deal in Central and on the other side of the state.
I think it's unacceptable to lose to Arkansas State in any sport. Does anyone disagree with that?
I'm with you, Ty. I agree.
No,
I know what Coach Broyle's feelings towards playing any in-state schools and that. I just don't think, and listen, Coach Music's in her first year.
That cupboard was bare.
Yeah.
Bare.
I don't think we should be losing to Arkansas State in any sport.
Mm-hmm.
Football, basketball, baseball, women's basketball, doesn't matter. Because they're going to talk about it for the next 50 years.
Get the commemorative DVDs out of the press today. They did that,
like the NIT theme back in the day.
Still cranking out VHSs.
Men's basketball, remember Coach Richardson, they could have lost to him. I think that game went to OT, if I remember that right. I went around for that. But yeah, where do you stand on that, Philip?
Well, I mean, I kind of agree. To me, it's right up there with, there's been such a big harp, and you take what happened with, football with everything going on, is that, I do think it is. To me, it's right up there when Courtney Differ took the softball team and went to Conway, I think it's Conway, and lost to UCA. Or was it when UCA came up here and beat them?
I don't remember that moment.
See, I've forgotten about that.
For that game.
Yeah, because I don't remember if the softball team went to Conway or UCA came up here and they got beat. Conway beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think So I think it's a recruiting. That's, to me, as a coach, I think that's a recruiting thing. That, hey guys, we came in and we beat the team in the state. That's kind of like, to me, that's like, when you take Bentonville and Bentonville West, and when West beats Bentonville, it's a big thing. It's like, that's the rival, and that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're beating kind of the big brother.
Thanks for Philip. Thanks for the call. I think Calvin and Media forgot to add a word here. He said, I don't know if he said don't forget or don't care about Arkansas volleyball losing to Arkansas State. Does it change a season? Does it change a program? No. But if I'm any coach on the Hill, there's just an expectation we don't lose to in-state teams.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be established. And listen, I'm not a coach. Like, I'm just telling you what I think. Like Weston Springdale points out, the UCA beating Arkansas in baseball. It wasn't the crumbling of Arkansas baseball by any stretch of the imagination. We saw what the team did this past year. I just don't think, I don't think as a coach in Fayetteville, Arkansas, you should ever think it's okay to lose to an in-state school.
It's not. And you know what? Last year, I believe Izzy Higginbotham, she came from Arkansas State, so we took their best player, and they came up here the next year, and they absolutely worked you. They made you work for it. Their coach is an Arkansas girl, so she understands what that kind of that rivalry, non-per se, whatever it is, means. So it's definitely a wake-up call for anybody that's a supporter or involved in the women's basketball program that things are not where they need to be right now. And Sean from Valonia here is getting after us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, says, you two are such millennials and creatures of the moment. You can't just immediately win a championship. He goes on to say all the things that we've done this year and how the football season wasn't great. He talks about Silverfield for a little while, but he says that we're being Debbie Downers this morning, Ty.
I just have a high opinion of Arkansas football and the weight it has on the athletics department. I don't think that's being a Debbie Downer, Sean. I'm just telling you what I think.
Are you being a millennial, though? What's your birth year? Are you a millennial?
I am a millennial. He also says, don't act like you care about women's basketball, losing the same breath that you want to do whatever it takes to win in football. This is a result of most money.
He's 100% right about that. And you know what? If you want an investment in women's basketball, wins have to come first. There's no way around that.
Well,
Sorry.
if you bet on Arkansas State on the Bet Saracen app this past game, you would have won some money. It's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Make a little wager on your favorite sports betting event. Super Bowl's coming up. We've got NFL playoffs, college football playoff on Wednesday and Thursday. Follow the odds, the favorites, and the underdogs on the Bet Saracen app. I need to pull it up and see what Arkansas is favored tonight against James Madison. I know they're going to be a heavy favorite, but whether it's the game on Saturday against the Vols or any other basketball game this season, you can bet on it on the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Go to betsaracen.com. Hour number 2 coming up. John Bryce, footballscoop.com, joins us to talk about Arkansas's football staff.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
InstaWeb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is The Morning Rush.
We're having a good old-fashioned family Christmas at Rath Auto Resources. Now through the end of the year, get up to $6,400 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned sleigh. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Really nice. Save up to $6,400 off your next family truckster, and we'll all have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautoportsmith.com. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol?
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of stress-free internet. Wave Rural Connect brings you our 300 internet with Wi-Fi, perfect for streaming, remote work, and holiday guests. No data limits, built-in cybersecurity, and easy control with our free Wave Connect app. All for just $71.95 a month. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372 today. Wave Rural Connect, internet that works when you need it most.
Discover the ultimate adventure at the Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo, January 8th through the 11th at the Rogers Convention Center. Check out a vast array of boats by the finest boat dealers in the area. Learn from experts, test out the latest equipment, and gain insight that will take your adventures to new heights. This show is the perfect place to see all the boat brands and compare. The Northwest Arkansas Boat and Outdoor Expo, January 8th through the 11th at the Rogers Convention Center, where your next adventure begins.
The Golf Nuts' new state-of-the-art putting room is officially open. Come roll the best putters on the market, like Scotty Cameron, Lab, Ping, Odyssey, and Bettinardi, and leave with a stroke that'll scare your playing partners. Visit the Golf Nut for a great selection of Christmas gifts for your favorite golfer, like rangefinders, clubs, golf balls, apparel, or a gift certificate to the new indoor hitting bay or shop. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It'll be a cool day with a high this afternoon into the lower 30s north, upper 30s south. Clear skies, cold tonight, upper teens to low 20s. Tuesday, lots of sunshine, a high in the mid 40s, and then Wednesday, sunny, upper 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
And every time it rains, and it's from heaven.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $1.817 billion. So get those tickets out. Let's play.
More than 3 months and more than $1.8 billion. All comes down to 6 numbers and one winner in Arkansas. The lucky Powerball ticket, very lucky winner for this Powerball ticket, was purchased at this Murphy USA gas station in Cabot.
I think it's amazing for whoever won it. I hope that whoever won it has a giving heart and decides to do something really good with it.
Go home.
Don't let anybody know who you are. Invest it all. Live off the interest.
Live from the Bushlight Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
To my knowledge, Tommy was not in Cabot on Christmas Eve buying a Powerball ticket and winning the $1.817 billion jackpot.
He'd tell us.
He would at least tell us. That person has not come forward just yet.
Yeah.
Jackpot has a cash option of over $800 million. Going to have to pay about $330 million to federal and state. You can take home a cool $500 million. Second time it's been won in Arkansas. Last time was 2010, so 15 years ago. Congratulations to, is it the Panthers? Cabot Panthers?
Cabot Panthers, yeah.
Okay, congratulations to whatever. Might not be a Panther fan, but I'm going to say Panther fan won it. Hadn't come forward. We'll see when that ends up. Do you, I don't know the legal obligate. Do you have to come forward, or can you keep this to yourself?
I'm not sure
I don't know
either.
how
I would
this
try my best to remain as anonymous as possible. I would get that money in one lump sum. I want it all in cash, and then I want to get the best shovel I could find and a nice piece of open land in my backyard and just bury that money because I don't want to touch it.
Holden wants the lump sum.
I will burn through that.
He doesn't
money
want
so
the
fast.
30-year annuity.
So no, I don't want the annuity. I don't care about generational
It's over.
wealth.
It's over 200,000 more, about 200,000 more, something like that.
I don't keep track of that stuff, but I do know that the price of silver way up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Melt your dimes, folks. They're worth more.
Our luck would be like an Ole Miss or an LSU fan that ended up winning the in Cabot of all places. It's Hot Take Monday here on the Morning Rush. Tom will be back first of the year. I know he's excited to have a few days out. Hey, I was on my way to Little Rock this past weekend to visit my parents for Christmas. I was listening to Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. You can listen to not just anywhere in the state, but we have people that listen all over the country and then all over the world. So again, the Cravings Value menu right now at Taco Bell, you get 10 items to choose from for $3 or less at Taco Bell. The Hit That Line Now app is powered by Taco Bell. John Bryce is going to join us coming up, writer at footballscoops.com. We got some thoughts on some bowl games and everything. Again, the big news, if you missed it, from over the weekend, college football-wise, Kyle Whittingham to Michigan.
Michigan fans, Coach Kyle Whittingham. Honored to be here. Honored to be the football coach at this great university. Can't wait to get working with our players, getting to know them, and getting Michigan football to where it should be.
That was unexpected. Maybe agents and guys like John knew this was coming, but I definitely did not see Kyle Whittingham, who stepped down at Utah and is thought to be, he's 66 years old, and now the head coach of one of the best jobs in the country. We bring in John Bryce now. John, obviously the biggest news of any, I don't care what happened really in the bowl games, but what did you make of Whittingham from Salt Lake City, Utah to Ann Arbor, Michigan from over the weekend?
Yeah, I think in all things considered, that's the best hire that Michigan could have made. Michigan's an absolute dumpster fire right now, and Kyle Whittingham has an exemplary track record on the field and off the field, and that's exactly what Michigan needs. And it's hard to tell exactly what happened with Kyle at the end of his Utah career, if he felt nudged out the door a year or two earlier than he wanted to. But I think Michigan gets a guy very motivated to show he's still a very good ball coach in a new era of football, and Michigan, again, gets somebody with great character.
Yeah, and that was something that Ward Manuel, their athletics director, talked about. I know Michigan's had a few scandals, few things lately with their head coaches and really the staff overall, and it seems like that was constantly said quality when it came to Kyle Whittingham and just what he can do potentially in Ann Arbor. John, I want your thoughts. We kicked this around earlier. Bowl games are there's just no excitement around them. You cover the sport, and I do want to ask you about Arkansas coming up, but how would you go about changing the current system that we have for college football postseason?
You were cutting out a little bit there. If you could repeat that question, please. I apologize.
No, so bowl season has gone down a lot. The excitement's just not there. I know we're going to have an expansion of the playoffs at some point. John, do you have a remedy? Do you have something you would change within the current structure of the college football postseason?
Yeah, I think that the bowls, and I read it in The Athletic over the weekend, the director of bowls acknowledging that they've got some real issues. One of the proposals out there, or the mock proposals out there that I like, is doing some of the bowl games in week 0 of the college football season and having some more attractive matchups there, especially if the playoff is going to get to 16 teams sooner rather than later. Then you can further incentivize those intersectional cross-conference matchups that the fans want to see, that the TV networks want to see, and that can tell you more about your team earlier and teams earlier in the season. So I think that's one. I do still think, though, like when you look at the bowl season, the fans are still tuning in. We're all college football fans. We're all gluttons. We'll still watch a bad bowl game because it's still college football. And I think I saw that the Boise State Washington bowl game maybe drew 4.1 million viewers, and it was the first one to kick off bowl season 2 weeks ago. So there's still interest in the bowl system and in bowl season, but it's got to be fixed. You're going to continue to have opt-outs, especially with the way the calendar is right now for both coaching changes and the transfer portal. I do find great value in the bowls for the younger players, and I do think it can be a springboard for the development of players and can give programs momentum into the off season and into the next year. And it lets you see guys in those roles. So it maybe becomes almost more exhibition like, and you know that you're going to go into these bowl games playing a bunch of your freshmen and sophomores and maybe even redshirt sophomores and juniors who haven't played much, and you're going to get a better idea of almost a springboard into your spring camp and who can maybe help you and take the next step in the following season.
I know Ryan Silverfield would like to have that. By the way, we're talking with John Bryce, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. He's a writer at footballscoop.com. John, it's a big next few weeks for Ryan Silverfield in the football program here in Fayetteville. He's got his staff in place. It sounds like. Ask you about the portal coming up, but just your overall assessment. You do this for a living. You grade and kind of you're in the know on coaches. John, what do you think of the staff that Silverfield has assembled for the football team in Fayetteville?
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you. I'm just having a really hard time hearing you guys this morning.
Okay. We might need to. John, can you hear me now?
I think I've got you now. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know what the deal is. We might reset it during the break. But John, just your assessment on the staff that Silverfield has hired as they get ready to when the portal opens here this week.
Yeah, I like the hire of Ryan Silverfield. The portal obviously opening Tuesday, the 2nd, and only being open 14 days. You guys know better than I do that Arkansas has a number of needs, but I think that Ryan will bring some guys with him from Memphis formally when it opens up later this week. I also think that Ryan and his staff have great ties in the Memphis area, which I think is critical for Arkansas to recruit to get back to where Arkansas should be and wants to be, and I think that's going to pay dividends long term as well. But the portal, it's wide open shopping right now. The prices, guys, are insane. I talked to agents over the weekend. You're talking 7 figures for offensive and defensive linemen. You're talking multiple millions for proven quarterbacks in the portal. Tight ends are getting $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Like the money right now is absolutely insane. It's my understanding that Ryan and his staff have been more empowered by Arkansas administration to go and be aggressive in the portal and to grow their staff. I think that maybe Ryan's best hire, and he's done my podcast before. I like Ryan a lot. I think maybe his best hire is the general manager, Gazka Crowley. He's elite, and that's not me talking about it. That's like when we broke the news that Gazka was being hired by Arkansas, I got a number of texts from other SEC GMs, from GMs around college football who are like, wow, Arkansas just made a significant move. So I think he's got the right person who helped rebuild that Arizona roster and turned it around in a hurry. And I think, again, that the administration has seen that Arkansas had fallen way behind in the SEC and will empower Ryan and company to be much more competitive moving forward.
We're here on the Morning Rush with John Bryce, writer at Football Scoop. John, this is Colton Little here filling in for Tommy Kraft. John, you mentioned Geiska Crowley being hired there as the general manager for Arkansas. That's still a new term for a lot of fans when it comes to what a general manager does for college football. What is it that you've heard from those coaches that were sending you text message that makes Geiska Crowley a really good hire for Silverfield?
I think the big thing that the GM does is he has those relationships with agents around the country. He knows what the real market value is. If you have somebody in that spot who is just constantly getting lied to by agents and doesn't really understand the marketplace, then you can run out of funds in a hurry. But Gazika has those contacts, again, already had leaned on multiple SEC people before taking the job, I think, who had encouraged him to take the job and come to the SEC and prove himself there. He grew up in Florida, so he's got ties in Florida, but he just knows how to separate fact from fiction, and he knows what a roster looks like. He knows you can't overspend in certain spots no matter how much you like a guy sometimes, and he might be a value, a quote-unquote value at $750,000, but you can't sign one guy at $750 if you could potentially get 3 guys that might help you for that same amount of money.
When you talk about market value, and I noticed that Ole Miss has announced several of their new staff in terms of GMs and scouts and everything else. Is that almost more important than your coordinators based on the guys that are going to be bringing players in and evaluating talent?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the way I put it this year is that for the first time, I think, or certainly the most extensively this year, when the coaching carousel really kicked off, ADs and search firms were asking coaching candidates, who are you bringing in personnel? What is your vision for personnel? More so than who's going to be your offensive and defensive coordinator and strength coach. And those are still important, but I think the personnel discussion moved to the tip of the iceberg this year more prominently than ever before in the coaching carousel.
John, when you talk, you mentioned the text you received about Crowley. When you talk to coaches about the Arkansas football job, and you talked to a bunch of them, assistants, heads, whatever, what is their current thought of that job in 2025?
Of the Arkansas job?
Of just the head coaching football job here at Arkansas.
Yeah, that it's tough. That Arkansas had, I think, probably been viewed throughout the SEC as a program that went overboard in devoting resources to basketball, which is understandable, and then had pulled maybe some resources from Sam Pittman's football revenue distribution to give to baseball. And again, that's what we've been told, and the baseball program is flat out elite, phenomenal. So it's a matter of stretching dollars, but people around the SEC had told me that from a manpower standpoint that, the last year under Sam Pittman, Arkansas had a smaller staff overall than Mississippi State. And Mississippi State, I think, oftentimes has been viewed as the most challenging job in the SEC, certainly outside of Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt's recommitted to Clark Lee and expanded his staff, and they're working on a new football facility, and they're doing some different things with NIL and rev share, and so they've got it going. So I think Arkansas widely was viewed as the single most challenging job in the SEC right now.
John, before we let you go, and we appreciate you joining us this morning, Kirk Cignetti, in my opinion, has really changed the college football head coaching timelines of success. I know Silverfield has been on the record about we can win now, we can have success now. In your opinion, in talking with coaches, what is the new timetable for when they're expected to win at a college football? And I know it differs per job, but have you noticed a change on the condensed time with college football head coaches?
Oh, yeah. The timeline is very compacted compared to what it used to be. It's certainly much more condensed, and coaches used to get hired and feel like they would probably get 5 years, that almost the first year was a throwaway year, and then you got 4 years to recruit your own roster, bring your own players in, establish your system, establish your culture, and by year 4 or 5, you better be winning. And it's 3 years now, and it's 3 years really at most. Like, year 1, you probably need to win a game or two that you're not supposed to win, quote unquote, not supposed to win over the course of the year. Year 2, you need to be trending toward a winning season, and if bowls are still around in 27, whatever iteration, you need to be a bowl team, and in 2028, you need to be on a trajectory that says, if things go well, they could challenge for a playoff spot, especially by 28, we're going to have a 16-team playoff. So, yeah, the timeline is much shorter than it's ever been, and the only way that timeline changes and goes back to the more traditional that we're accustomed to is if major changes are made to the transfer portal and to revenue share and how all of that is done. Otherwise, while it's the Wild West, you can't spend enough and you can't turn around fast enough.
John, we'll leave it there. John Bryce, footballscoop.com, kind enough to make some time for us here on a Hot Take Monday. John, appreciate it, and have a good rest of 2025 as 2026 is going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I always appreciate the chance to visit with you all and appreciate the time this morning. Take care.
All right, good stuff from John. And he kind of led me in the direction I wanted to go with the transfer portal. We'll do that coming up. John Calipari had some thoughts at was it Little Rock Rotary Club? Am I saying that right, Colton? Yeah, the Little Rock Rotary Club. We'll do that coming up in just a bit. Hey, one thing I didn't get a chance to ask John about was the college football playoff games. There's big-time matchups, Indiana, Alabama. You got Ohio State and Miami. You've got Oregon and Texas Tech, and then Georgia and Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl. And you can bet on all those games on the Oaklawn Sports Betting app. It's Oaklawn Sports and plus the Oaklawn Anywhere. Plus, you've got horse racing back. I know people love horse racing at Oaklawn. You come down to Hot Springs and have a fantastic time. Well, you can bet anytime, anywhere. That's the great thing about it with the Oaklawn Sports and the Oaklawn Anywhere app. That's always something you can take advantage of during racing season. And obviously, you can bet on sports anytime, anywhere with the Oaklawn Sports app. Do it this week as the college football playoffs are here. NFL playoffs underway. Final weekend of the NFL season. Got some marquee matchups, sending teams to playoffs or not. You can do it all with Oaklawn Sports and, again, horse racing on the Oaklawn Anywhere app. All right, so John Calipari had some thoughts on the transfer portal, NIL, and I know there's two separate things, two separate kind of entities there, but they're tied in to one another. And he's pretty strong. It's Hot Take Monday. And he's pretty hot about it.
You can transfer once without penalty because you picked the wrong school. The coach lied to you. There was another player that came that you didn't know about one time. And after that, you got to sit. Because what do you think they're transferring for? Somebody help me here. Why are they say it? That's it. It isn't because they're mad at this or that. I can extort you, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going over here. If we cure that, I've been saying it for 5 years, no one listens to me. My dog, I call me, runs the other way. My wife doesn't listen to me. No one listens. If we cure the transfer rule, 70% of our problems go away. We can deal with all the other stuff.
I know that coaches, whether it's John Calipari in basketball, I listen to Mark Few and Tom Izzo over the weekend talking about what's going on with Baylor, which will kind of tie in here as well. You've got players, though, on Arkansas roster that have transferred, and in the case of Nick Pringle, he's on his 5th school. I don't know if this is going to get changed. We always talk about like the toothpaste being out of the tube at this point. Mm-hmm. It's almost one of those things you have to utilize it until it no longer exists. If we're trending towards that direction, he's like he said, he's talked. He didn't like going up against Jack Golke in Oakland last year. Golke was what, 23, 24, Colton, something like that. But it's just where we are. So you might as well utilize it to your advantage, like Baylor is with James Najee or whatever that was drafted by or drafted back in 2023. He's 21 years old. He's playing the second half of the season. He's got 4 years of eligibility granted by the NCAA. That's just where we are right now. And that's not necessarily the transfer portal topic, but it's that older guy logic. It's the guys that are getting extra years of eligibility because they're not counting the JUCO or whatever the case may be. If older players still exist in college sports, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, whether, at least in my opinion, and you don't have to like it, but rather than going against it, utilize it, and then behind the scenes, try and get it eliminated. That's at least my thought.
Yeah, and Coach Cal, he's obviously being a little bit facetious when he says that no one's listening to him. If we think that people aren't listening to one of the foremost voices in all of college basketball, I mean, we're kidding ourselves. People are listening to Cal. I think things are trying to be made right, but like you said, the toothpaste is out of the tube. I mean, we just heard from John Bryce talk about the money that was being asked for football, and obviously football is a little bit bigger of a money game than college basketball, but the price of admission, the price to pay, I mean, all of this stuff for players is obviously becoming more and more astronomical. And when you're an older guy, when you're 23, 24, and you're a really sought-after player in the portal, you can jack that thing up as high as you would like to say, hey, look, I know I'm a prized possession. Somebody can come get 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists out of me every single night. That's worth a lot of money, and to some schools it is. So Coach Cal is definitely right when he says that you have to give all these players one automatic freebie no matter what, because yes, coaches come in and then they leave the next year, or things change. You get injured. You should have the opportunity to freely move at least one time. But sitting out a year and taking eligibility away from you, that has to happen at some point, because we can't have guys that should be in the pros still playing college. And this whole thing about guys that have been drafted into the NBA, what happened to once you put your name into the NBA draft? Or what happened to all these rules about how once that happens, you forfeit everything? When did all that gray area suddenly become even more gray? These guys are pros. If you skip college and you skip the amateur ranks, which college still technically is, to go play in the G League or whatever it is overseas somewhere, you should not be allowed to come back, because no matter how we put it, the G League may not be the same level of competition as college. It probably is a little bit better. Overseas certainly is. Those guys are absolutely pros. They've been sending players over here to the NBA to take over our game for, the last 30 years? So once you go over to that level of competition, you should not be allowed to come back. Cal has an absolutely reasonable gripe about this. I don't think it's all just because of Jack Golke and everything that happened with Oakland and Kentucky in the tournament a few years back. I think Coach Cal truly cares about the game of basketball, and he sees this as a detriment to all the young players that he loves to develop and put into the league.
Yeah, freshmen, as he's often talked about. Milquetoast and Hot Springs, the NCAA basketball is turning into the G League.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like when you have these players that have been drafted that end up coming back.
And Ty, do you watch any NBA G League? I mean, I'm not going to.
I don't.
No, I don't
I
either.
don't.
You want to know why? Because it's worse than the NBA when it comes to playing defense or anything like that. Those guys are all out there trying to score to get to the big
league,
show.
yes.
To the big show. So college basketball obviously is a much better product than the NBA G League, obviously in terms of television viewership and all that stuff. So it doesn't even make sense for these guys that are going straight to the G League to do anything. You can get pretty equivalent money now in college. It's all a complete and total mess. And somebody like Cal needs to keep ringing that bell, needs to keep saying something has to happen, something has to change, or all of these great, last Corleones like himself and everybody else, the Tom Izzos of the world, they'll be gone before you know it.
Yeah, Tom Izzo, again, disappointed with what's going on with the NIL sort of things and just this the G League aspect.
I just don't think that's fair for the players. Some of them worked their butt off to get to this position, and maybe things didn't go right. I'm a little surprised. I got to call it to Scott. I'm anxious to see what he tells me.
And that's him talking about Scott Drew, the Baylor coach. My dad's happy. He's a Baylor Bear.
Yeah,
He's excited
he should
about
be.
it. And that's just where we are. All right, we got to hit a break. Hot Take Monday here on the Morning Rush. Ty Richardson, Colton Little with you. Tommy's going to be back as the start of the new year. When we return, SEC update, some thoughts from Lane Kiffin during the bowl game, and just some bowls overall. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
Boy, I couldn't sound more old or white, could I? This is the Morning Rush.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal Tite of Arklahoma now offers Rhino Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino Tite.
Around here, we don't just know your name. We know your dad's favorite truck and your kid's baseball team. That's how it is when you've been in the same town for 90 years. At Hug Chevrolet GMC, we believe in handshakes, hometown service, and treating you like family. Because you're not just a customer, you're a neighbor. Hug Chevrolet GMC. The people, the place, the pride.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Dad, the driveway looks dirty.
You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
It was awesome, man. That was a great day. It really was. I'm not understand that. To watch those guys and how much they were smiling and be able to have that success and the biggest game in the history of the state of Mississippi and to blow out Tulane like that. It was awesome watching them. I was really excited for them.
That was Lane Kiffin on the Texas Bowl broadcast as his now LSU Tigers fell to Houston 38-35. He was speaking to Ole Miss pounding Tulane in the initial college football playoff game. He had a weird, I don't know, what would you describe his look for those that have seen it? Was it a leather jacket?
It's a leather jacket. It's a legitimate leather jacket.
Okay.
Did not dress like you think a college football coach would dress. No LSU insignia on a quarter zip, nothing like that. Just it looked like he was going to go prowling at the bar or something afterwards.
Yeah, probably is. Missouri ends up losing to Virginia 13-7. LSU lost, and this is like you've got this superiority I feel like you used to have within the SEC, and does it feel like it's slipping? Like if Indiana wins this thing here in a few weeks, that would be 3 straight wins for the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
It won the last 2. It's the argument that the SEC is still the best conference in college football has more cracks in it, if that happens, than it ever has. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I still, and maybe this is the SEC homer in me, I still think it is, but it's just more difficult. Like you do it, you say things based on eye test and statistics and whatnot, and if the Big Ten wins 3 straight national championships, which they very well could, the Buckeyes or the Indiana Hoosiers, I don't know if that argument's as concrete anymore, that the SEC is still the best conference in college football.
Mm-hmm. I think there's an argument to be made that, especially this past season, that the SEC has become more of a balanced league as opposed to how top-heavy it appears that the Big Ten can be from time to time. Because you do have your Indianas and your Ohio States that are there for the Big Ten. And then outside of that, you've got Oregon as well. That's also in the college football playoff. But USC is not the same USC of the past. You know, some of these other schools in the Big Ten have fallen on hard times. And in the SEC, it seems like, while, yes, there are some absolute bottom feeders, and unfortunately the Razorbacks are among them, you've seen schools like Vanderbilt come up and potentially be in playoff contention. Texas and Oklahoma joining the league. Those are a school that was in the playoffs last year and a school that just was in the playoffs again this past year. Lost to Alabama to start the college football playoffs, but I think that the SEC has an argument for the fact that they can still be considered the best conference as a whole. And when you look at how many people are watching TV in the SEC footprint and on during those games and Saturdays in the fall, as well as just how many teams are in these bowl games that don't matter anymore, and as well as you can look at draft picks as well. But Ty, there is a big chink in the SEC's armor. every single time one of them drops one of these playoff games, every single time that, these past 2 years, the Big Ten comes in and steals the show from the big mighty SEC. So if it's an Indiana team, I think that even that the argument that the SEC is the best conference gets even weaker, because it shows that in the Big Ten, you can come in and just flip things around in a couple of years and you're winning national championships. If it's Ohio State, well, Ohio State's always been Ohio State. You expect them to be there. So it's a little different argument. Regardless, Indiana, Ohio State, Oregon, those are three schools that have a really good shot at winning the national championship
That
this
they
year.
do. Doyle from Greenwood texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I get what you're saying, but this is mid-level SEC versus uppers in the other conferences besides A&M. And you're right, when you stack up who lost where, it's not equal. I get where you're coming from, Doyle. I'm thinking about the top and the end game with the Southeastern Conference and what that did like. Now, I didn't watch the LSU-Houston game. Gavin texting in saying LSU started the game like Arkansas did against LSU and then ended up in the same result as well.
Kickoff return for a touchdown, everything like that. And it was a good game for the most part. I mean, I don't know that Lane Kiffin saw all of it, but it was a good game.
Yeah, he left but that speaks to bowls.
Yeah.
That speaks to the season. You got the head coach of the LSU Tigers leaving early. You got players that aren't even celebrating after the game. They're just going to the locker room. Now, I do enjoy, you pointed this out earlier, like the different festivities, like the Master Chief.
Yeah, the Xbox Bowl. That's fun.
Xbox Bowl. Like, I'm a big Halo guy. I thought that was cool. Beans. Is it the Bush's Bowl?
Bush's Big Beans Bowl, yeah.
Pop-Tarts, like the big old Pop-Tart that Kalani Sitake was eating. That's fun. But it's just not... It doesn't get me.
Doesn't move the needle for you.
No, it doesn't get me aroused. It just doesn't. And that's. I mean, you got the biggest thing that happened during the bowl game. I just did the Lane Kiffin thing. We have the booger clip. Not
it's
seeing.
Let me find it.
Okay, there's a for those that haven't heard, former LSU defensive lineman Booger McFarland had some thoughts after the game that was quite, or during the game, I should say, that were quite entertaining. I think it was during halftime, but I don't know where the SEC is going to be. By the way, concluding your SEC update, Arkansas, Tennessee this Saturday is a stripe out. I saw they just announced that for the conference opener for the Razorbacks, currently a top 20 matchup between the Vols and the Arkansas Razorbacks. That is your SEC update this morning. Speaking of Arkansas basketball, final regular season game of 2025, Arkansas versus James Madison. Remember the game you lost to in what did I say, not Brooklyn, in New Jersey to Houston? Well, even in defeat, Arkansas got some love from Kelvin Sampson. Here's what the Houston head coach had to say about the Razorbacks.
This is the best team we've played to this point. We played Auburn early. So we played Auburn, Syracuse, Tennessee, Notre Dame, Florida State, and Arkansas. Arkansas's, they're going to be good, and they're going to get better. You got Thomas and Acuff, and then the left-handed kid, what's his name, Richmond. Richmond kid's dynamic. I mean, their pieces, they have really, really good pieces, and this, we're not even to Christmas yet. They're going to get better and better. I think Arkansas has as good a chance as anybody to win the SEC this year.
I don't know if I'm willing to step out on that ledge. I've been pretty bullish on that. But that is encouraging to a team that beat you, that their head coach, very complimentary. There's a lot of respect, it seems like, between Cal and Kelvin Sampson, two Hall of Famers. And you got shelled a little bit in that game. Houston punked you. Hopefully you can take out some anger on the Dukes tonight. And then, again, Tennessee smacked you. You owe them a little bit of revenge after what happened in Knoxville last year, Colton.
Yeah, and I think that this team is better, and they're at a better spot than even last year's team was as well, coming into this point in the season. And it's always good to hear those words from such a great coach like Kelvin Sampson. I did hear one thing in there. We better lock up Billy Richmond next year. He'll be a Houston Cougar. But I do think that Kelvin Sampson saying those things is that he obviously sees what everybody else sees that's been enjoying to watch this Razorback basketball team so far. And he mentioned the pieces. There are a lot of really good pieces that once you fit that puzzle together, I think can compete for an SEC championship. You asked me early on in the season, what's the ceiling for this team, where I think they're going to go. And I, kind of just haphazardly said the Final Four. And, there's been parts of the season where I'm like, that's no shot. I sound like an idiot. No one's going to care anyway. But parts of the season where I think, man, this team does have some of those pieces, some of that talent to get together. So come out tonight against James Madison and just show us that you've improved on some of the things that did not go out for you well against Houston, and then just get ready to be competitive all season long in the SEC. I don't think anybody's going to be willing to stomach another 0-5 skid to start conference play because there's going to be lots of question marks. And I know that the calling card for Cal's teams sometimes is to start slow, maybe be a little bit sluggish out of the gate and finish strong. But if you're finishing strong, you got to make sure that you have a good start too, because it'll sure help the rest of the season. But I'm excited. I think that they match up really well with Tennessee, and it should be a great environment on a stripe out on Saturday.
Before they get to that Vols again tonight, 7 o'clock, SEC Plus right here on ESPN Arkansas. Chuck and Z courtside at 6:30. You got the mentor versus the mentee. Cal taking on a former staff member of his in Preston Spradlin, who spent 5 years with him in Lexington. So it should be a fun one tonight. All right, we'll play that booger clip coming up. We'll tease that heading into the break. It's something you want to stay tuned for. I got a kick out of it. We're brought to you this morning by Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's is always a great place that you could take the friends, take the family. It's a place that you're going to have a lot of fun. My parents, when they go, they don't even fish. They just go for the nature. They just go to explore. Give them a call at 870-431-5202. Go to Gastons.com. Clint, Jacob, the team there can help you out with the private accommodations and their lodges and cabins. Most of them offer a kitchen that you can cook there. I recommend the restaurant. It's awesome. One more time, 870-431-5202. Their Facebook page is littered with videos, photos, and everything you need to look at what your Gaston's getaway could look like. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Hogs on a run out. Brazil throws it down. That was a 3-on-none.
This is the Morning Rush.
We're having a good old-fashioned family Christmas at Rath Auto Resources. Now through the end of the year, get up to $6,400 off retail value on your next road-ready certified pre-owned sleigh. Inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Really nice. Save up to $6,400 off your next family truckster, and we'll all have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautoportsmith.com. Hallelujah. Where's the Tylenol?
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $70 on Milwaukee M18 brushless drill and impact driver kit, or Rocket Dual Power LED tripod tower light after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Yes. And one. It's time to pack Bud Walton Arena and bring the noise for Razorback women's basketball. Support new head coach Kelsey Music and her Razorbacks for an action-packed schedule featuring SEC showdowns with South Carolina, Texas, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and more. There's nothing like game day in Bud Walton Arena, and you can enjoy it with the whole family and secure your season tickets today for just $50. Visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com to get your tickets for the fun today.
Three in the corner. Yes.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Number you have ever reached.
The worldwide leader in sports.
It was her first call game with my wife, and we ended up on that field. We were in section 104.
Brother, you just turned the light bulb on.
You gotta go with somebody. At least I go with a winner. Tommy, they're great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Well, your favorite memory playing in a bowl game?
Yeah, my first experience in the Peach Bowl in Atlanta, first time getting per diem, $987. Went to one nice establishment and I gave it all away. They have some good wings though.
Lemon pepper wings.
Lemon pepper
right?
wings.
Yeah, that's
yes. Me and Lou Williams have something in common.
Yes, Lou's a big fan of lemon pepper wings. We know that. Of course, the former NBA basketball player.
Booger McFarland, not shy. Georgia Tech. What bowl game was that? It was Georgia Tech and
it would have been LSU, right? He's an LSU guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Georgia Tech played.
That was the Peach Bowl, so
Yeah.
I don't know when that was, but yeah.
he very open. I'll give him that, I guess, about how he spent nearly $1,000 at the Gentlemen's Club from the per diem that he was given. $987 is
a lot of money.
Wild per diem. Back in, I want to say he was there either like early 2000s or late 90s for that. But that is he was open on the college football broadcast for the weekend.
Hey, $987 in your per diem. You spend it however you want. I'm just surprised that back in the day there wasn't a little more chaperoning of what was going on there. But hey, one thing that caught my attention from this is the Magic City Bowl. Sounds like a pretty good name for a bowl.
Yeah,
so maybe they can figure something out there. That's a fun, unique sponsorship, huh?
Yeah, they could do that. Hey, I bet that $987 would go a long way at WT Equipment. They got the value bonanza going on right now. The savings are big. You can get 0% financing for 72 months on the new Holland PowerStar mid-range tractor. That's 65 to 100 PTO horsepower, strength, comfort, and reliability. It's perfect for everything in the wide open fields and the tight barnyards. Doesn't stop there, though. They've got year-end deals across the lot. Tractors, hay tools, construction equipment, and more. These savings end December the 31st, so you got to swing by your local WT Equipment or check them out online, WTEquip.com. That's WTEquip.com.
You're a wing guy. You like lemon pepper wings?
I don't
You
ever
lemon pepper
order
stepper?
lemon pepper wings.
You won't
I don't-
turn them down.
I won't turn them down, but I do love wings. I'm getting hungry just thinking about those.
sorry.
That sounds fantastic. But to the bowls, like how many bowls have you watched thus far?
Oh, I mean, I've watched, like you said, maybe 10 minutes here and there. I also been doing a lot of traveling the last couple of days, so I haven't had a lot of time parked in front of the television, but just moments here or there. I've gotten to see a couple of good things. Satake, reaching his hand in there and pulling out the Pop-Tart sacrifice. Got to see that. Got to see Master Chief as well. So a couple of the more fun things I have actually gotten a chance to sit down and watch, but in terms of a whole bowl game, not very many, because it's the same argument, Ty. None of these games are catching my interest. Half the teams are injured, opted out, transferring, coaches are gone. It's just... And the argument to move these things to the spring is just as ludicrous as some of the other things to try and fix it. You want to give these players the opportunity to celebrate at the end of the year, and what the Bulls do is they give these guys a lot of swag. It's an opportunity to travel to a different place, play on a neutral site most of the time, which is really, really fun for a lot of these players. So there are still things that are good for college football that are with the Bulls, but they don't have any more impact whenever there's 12 teams allowed in the playoff, and it doesn't matter because half the team's not even there anymore.
And maybe it's because Arkansas didn't make a bowl, and I just feel like the system right now is foul. Maybe that has something to do with it. I'll admit that. But I don't know where it's at. You'd mentioned some of the things that at least been speculated about possibly doing. Don't know what's going to happen with the bowl system, but I do think there are going to be sweeping changes like we've seen with the postseason and who decides the national championship. That's going to expand again, and then how they go about it will be interesting to watch.
You just got to make it fun again, Ty. Like you said, you remember coming home from college break, and you have that basically that month off in between Christmas break and coming back to school in January to start the next semester. There's nothing on TV but bowl games, and they used to mean something. So you definitely want to get back to that, to where what you have on TV is worth watching. And the same thing with the college football playoff and those awesome games at home with great environments in the first round. They can't be blowouts.
Yeah. Hopefully they are good games Wednesday. And what is the setup? I haven't even looked. Because there's one game on Wednesday night and then 3 on New Year's Day. I need to look and see what does that. I should have done this before.
I think it's one on New Year's Eve and the rest of them.
Yeah, one on New Year's Eve and the setup for that. But I listen, they're going to be great matchups. So
second round's going to be solid.
Miami and Ohio State is the New Year's Eve game at 6:30 on ESPN, and then the next day you've got Oregon and Texas Tech at 11, Alabama and Indiana at 3, and then Ole Miss at Georgia. So you got Miami, New Orleans, Pasadena. And where's the last? Dallas, Cotton Bowl. So that is going to be, listen, you got a good setup here these next few days. And those are the games that get me excited.
Yeah.
Tell you what got a guy from Oklahoma excited, the Buffalo wing conversation. He says Buffalo or anything habanero on the wings or nothing. Yes, habanero, hot wings.
Gotta have a little kick.
Gotta have
hot
a little
wings.
kick.
It's hot wings. It's how it's supposed to be. You gotta have a little bit of kick. I don't like sweet meat, Ty. I don't like that stuff. I don't like barbecue stuff that's sweet. I don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So mess me with all that Caribbean, whatever.
Caribbean
sweets,
jerk.
Caribbean jerk. Yeah, I don't want none of that. Give me the hot stuff.
That is something that I would agree with you on. Speaking of food, shout out. This person didn't say their name, but we were eating Christmas Eve. My family and I at a restaurant in Little Rock, and this guy came up to me and was like, "Love y'all's show. Listen to it every day." I'm sorry Tommy didn't get a chance to hear that. I'll tell him when he gets back, but and he'll be back the start of the year. But appreciate whatever listener in Little Rock gave credit to the Morning
Recognize
Rush.
you from your face, so he's a viewer too.
I guess he watches us, which again you can always watch the Morning Rush, Chuck and Bo, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitch, all that, and you can always listen again on the Hit That Line app, which we know is powered by Taco Bell.
Got a
Wherever
gift card to there for Christmas.
there
I'm
you go.
Stoked to use it.
Wherever you're at, whether it's in Arkansas or anything else. Gavin and Fayetteville, bowl games are going to have to start having player payouts to make them good, I feel like, again. Well, some of the new contracts that you're seeing, players don't get the full amount unless they participate in the postseason game.
Yeah.
It depends on the school. It depends on, and again, we're not privy to seeing the structure and the layout of these contracts and what they look like, but that's some of them, what they're tied in and everything else. And again, I think some of my distaste towards bowls currently is because Arkansas is also not in postseason. I'll fully admit that. Maybe that's where I'm
You'd
kind
be
of
in
out
better
right now.
spirits if we were in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah, well, it's just like 2-10 versus 7-6 is a lot different
I'm with
story,
you.
and that's again when we asked the question earlier. It was our Morning Rush daily question brought to you by Cart Pass Social. It's like, do you consider Arkansas athletics in 2025 successful? And I said no, just because of how heavily weighted the football team is.
Because you're an entitled millennial. You just
Yeah,
want
and
convenience side.
that's what Sean and Bologna said. Listen, he's entitled to his opinion as I'm entitled to mine. I hope that you have similar success in basketball and baseball, and then you can also parlay it out with a good football team, because the football team wasn't worth it. And again, you stack up what Arkansas has gone through pain-wise as a fan base relative to other programs. It's not on
the same playing field.
Not on the same playing field. Hey,
maybe 26 is the year, Ty. Maybe 26 is the year some hardware, so championship hardware comes back to Fayetteville.
Well, it depends on if that person in Cabot who won the $1.817 billion jackpot Powerball is an Arkansas fan.
Be generous, please.
This is unbelievable. Again, the winning numbers were 4, 25, 31, 52, 59, and the Powerball was a red 19. Second largest U.S. lottery jackpot ever won. Second time it's been won by someone in Arkansas. 15 years ago was the last time. The odds of winning it are 1 in $292.2 million. This person's probably going to take between, after federal and state gets you tax-wise, over $500 million that they're going to take home. Hopefully they spend it wisely.
Yeah, try blowing that at Magic City.
Yeah, that's, jeez Louise. Hopefully maybe Tommy's in Cabot. Maybe he hasn't come home yet for a reason. He's scared that I'm going to be pestering him and trying to siphon money out of him.
We won't be pestering Ty.
Yeah.
We'll be beating his door
Yeah.
down.
Give us money. Give us
Please,
money.
Tommy, please.
We need money. Jacob and Fort Smith, the good bowl games also stink when one team has 11 players out and the other team has 2.
Yeah.
He couldn't even take pleasure in drinks lost.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
He didn't have his full allotment. I know he mention after the game that Ahmad Hardy and Zollers are coming back.
Well, they were disagreeing with each other during the game. I saw something on that. But yeah, it looks like he's got some guys that are coming back.
That looked like a mountain out of a molehill to me. People were making way too big a deal of that.
Shout out Chandler Morris, though.
That's just, 13-6, 13-7, whatever that score was. That's going to do it for us here on a Hot Take Monday. Bud Light Morning Rush podcast will be out later this afternoon. Big C is 6, so Colton's filling in here for halftime. So for Colton Little and Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson signing off here on a Hot Take Monday. We're back tomorrow for a Talk of the Town Tuesday. Until then, halftime is next.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man